So guys, can anyone tell me what is the need of destination net in the very beginning when we were starting when I started the hi Rajkumar. So yeah, hi Rajkumar, am I audible? So guys, yeah, can anyone tell me the need of the destination net? So today we are starting destination net, okay? Rajkumar. So can anyone tell me?
Sorry,
uh,
but इतना लगा
Satyam, please mute yourself. Yeah. So guys, what is the need of the destination net? Can anyone tell me? We are starting destination net today.
the need to be access internal website and web server
Anyone else?
over the network. So I
Okay.
need to destination net.
No, that is not absolutely correct. Anyone else?
Inbound access to the web servers or applications, anything hosted within the environment.
Within the environment only.
Sorry?
Within the environment, you said.
Yeah, from outside to inside.
Yeah,
Talking
correct,
about.
correct. So destination net comes into the picture whenever we are means publishing our exposing our internal server over the internet, right? Let me take an example. Suppose if you guys can see my screen, right? So guys, see, suppose here we have an internet, okay? Here one user is sitting, and this is my company's web server. This is my company's uh, any server. You can say FTP server, okay? And if I want this server to be published publicly, then in such scenario we need a destination net, okay? And we want these server to be accessible from outside network over a public IP. In such scenario we require a destination net, okay? Like you said, whenever traffic is coming from outside and it is going inside, then we need a destination net, okay? Now here the concept is how this destination net will work, okay? Suppose this is an user who is sitting in an internet, okay? So he must be having one public IP, right? He will be connecting through the public IP. Suppose his public IP is 1.1.1.2. Okay. Now I have configured my this WAN interface public IP, one public IP pool. Okay. Here I am using one public IP pool between my firewall and the ISP router, right? So I want this web server to be accessed through this public IP. So how this gonna happen? So user sitting outside to our environment or sitting coming from the internet, he will hit this IP. Okay, source IP will be 1.1.1.2 and destination portion will be 192.168.1.100. Okay, and this traffic will be routed to our firewall. Once it will comes to our firewall, then our firewall will perform the netting, or you can say translation. This time it will translate the destination address rather than source address. Okay, in our last sessions we have seen how firewall is performing source net. Okay, on that scenario traffic was going from in to out, so we have seen the local machine IPs getting translated with this public IP, right? Then it was reachable. So this time whenever user will hit this public IP 192.168.100, okay, so IP will be mapped to this server IP. local IP. Suppose 20.1.1.1 is the IP of this server. Okay, so translation will be like this, source will be this, destination will be this, and then when it will be operated by the firewall, destination address will be translated and it is converted to the internal IP of the server. Okay, since this is directly connected with our firewall, it will forward the traffic on the basis of the security policy to the web server, right? Or whatever the server we are publishing publicly. Okay, now here the concept is, uh, if you will see from the industry perspective, suppose this is a web server. Okay, my company is GoINet Technologies. Okay, this is GoINet Technologies website. Okay, web server. So I don't know who is coming from outside. Okay, I'm publishing this as a public. Okay, I want to make it public. So I don't know who will come from internet, right? I don't know their source IP. So how I will create the rule in my firewall? I will create a rule with the source as any, right? Because it will be unknown to us, right? Because we don't know who is coming to access this website with their public IPs. Or suppose if you are hosting your SFTP server, like your company's SFTP server, right? And suppose I'm giving this access to my vendors only, and we know their public IPs. In such scenario, we can create a rule with their public IPs. Okay, we will make a rule where source will be the vendor's public IP, destination will be the public IP of this SFTP server, and then it will reach to the firewall, and then firewall will translate the public IP of the SFTP server, and it is redirected to the server, and then server will reply back, and this is how the communication will happen.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, means here actually whatever the traffic coming inside the network, that is the destination NAT. There
Yes, whenever traffic will come from outside, or you can say whenever we are publishing any of our server publicly, exposing our any internal server publicly, that in that scenario we need destination NAT, and traffic will come from outside to inside, or you can say DMZ zone, right?
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
So, guys, you have any doubt in this, like how the traffic flow will be? Any doubt, guys, for the traffic flow in destination net?
No, it's clear.
Rajkumar, Subramaniam, any doubt?
No, it's clear. Yeah.
Clear na? Then we will see the practicals, okay? Satyam, you have any doubt in packet flow, like how the communication will be happen in case of destination net? Satyam? Okay, I think it is clear to everyone. So let's start our configuration, or let's start our lab practice for destination net. Okay, here I'm using two servers. Okay, let me brief you about the topology first. Here I have only added one more zone, that is DMZ zone, where I have placed all the servers. Okay, I will make these servers to be accessible from public network. Okay, user sitting on the internet can access these servers. Okay, suppose this is my server and this is also my server. Okay, now first of all we will create this DMZ configuration. Okay, if you will understand the flow now, then you will easily can make the rules on the firewall. The theory that I explained you now, if you are getting this, then you are good to go for the destination net. Okay, let's see the practical, then it will be more clear to you. Okay, so here I'm using port number 4 as a DMZ, okay, in my Fortinet firewall. And these two servers we will be configuring. I will configure the telnet service in this server and HTTPS service in this server. And then we will try to make them accessible from the public network. Okay, port number 4, let's configure it. Okay, here I'm calling it as a DMZ, right? We can assign 20.1.1.100. Okay, and I'm allowing the ping service enable and okay. Okay, so our DMZ port is configured here, and I'll go to the servers, make the server ready. Okay, en configure terminal interface gigabit ethernet 0 by 0. Okay, IP address 20.1.1.1 suppose, and 255.255.
Sorry, what is the DMZ zone? Actually, what is it used for?
DMZ is a demilitarized zone. It is basically a zone where we place all our public servers. Okay, it is a separate zone from the LAN. Actually, in LAN we don't allow any traffic come from outside. Okay, so we keep all the servers in our demilitarized zone. Okay, line VTY 024, login local, password CCNA, transport input all, exit, username, let's say Rohit, privilege 15, and password CCNA, enable password CCNA. Okay, show IP interface brief. IP is configured, show IP route, show IP route. Oh, we haven't given the IP route. Default route is also required. 0.0.0, 0.0.0, and my firewall IP will be the next hop, right? IP address, IP route. Okay, so this server is ready with the telnet service, right? Let's ping the firewall IP first. Let's see the connectivity.
సో నేను దీక్షిత్ని కలిసినాను ఇవాళ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్. సో డాక్యుమెంట్స్ కూడా వచ్చిండే. సో నేను ఒరిజినల్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ మాకు ఒకసారి చూపించమని చెప్పాను. దాని తర్వాత
can you mute yourself?
దగ్గర ఉన్న ఒకే ఇష్యూ ఏం లేదు. సో దీక్షిత్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఇవాళ ఈవినింగ్ కూడా కలుస్తున్నాడు, కానీ నాకు కుదరలేదు. 5 తర్వాత నేనే మీకు కాల్ చేద్దామనుకున్నా, చేయలేదు ఎవరికి.
Raj Kumar, can you mute yourself?
రేపు మార్నింగ్ 8 o'clock విలేజ్కి వెళ్ళిపోతాను.
Okay, so there we are able to ping our gateway, that is our firewall IP, right? So let's change the host name also, server 1. I'll give it as a server 1. Do right. Okay, let's make this server accessible from the outside network. I will have one more PC that is connected to the internet for testing. Okay, guys, I'll connect one PC. Okay. 20.1.1.1. Yes, telnet is working, right? Okay, we are good to go with the testing. Yes, it's working fine. Okay. So let's go to the firewall. Okay, let's make this server to be accessible for this outside user. Okay, so what is the IP for this? This is having an IP address of 20.1.1.1, right? Sorry guys, where is the text here? So 20.1.1.1 is the IP of my telnet server, right? Okay. So for destination net, guys, we need to come in policy and then we have a virtual IP, right? Here, this is used for destination net in Fortinet firewall, right? We will click here and then we will create a new virtual IP, right? You can give any of your name, like I'm giving the telnet server public. Okay, so it is asking the internet where it will land. Traffic will come from the WAN interface, right? So I'll choose WAN interface. So here it is giving me an option to give the external IP. What will be the external IP? I am mapping this as an external IP for this server. Okay, 192.168.1.100. That is the firewall's IP address. 192.168.1.100. Okay, now it is asking me to map the IP address. What IP address we have for our server? That is internal IP 20.1.1.1. So I want to map it with 20.1.1.1. Okay. Rest of the options I will not touch right now. We will see it later. Okay. And I will click OK. Okay. So this is the way you can create your destination net. Okay. Now we need to allow the policy also because the traffic will come from WAN zone and it will go to the DMZ zone. So it is a interzone traffic, right? It will come from WAN zone and it will go to the DMZ zone. So we will have to define one policy also. So I will create one security policy. Okay. Telnet server public access. Okay. So what will be the traffic flow? Traffic user will hit to the this IP. Okay, 192.168.1.100. This is the public IP for this server. So this IP belongs to WAN zone. Okay, so traffic will come from WAN interface, right? And it will go to DMZ, right? Because our internal server is placed in a DMZ. So outgoing interface will be our DMZ. Okay, source. What will be the source? Guys, I have explained you. What will be the source? Can anyone answer this?
Source is any.
Yeah, source will be any because we don't know who will come from internet, right? And in destination, we will select our object that we have created, right? This one.
192.168. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we have decided, what we are defining here, we are defining here when anyone will come and hit to, sorry guys. So anyone will come and hit to this IP 192.168.1.100, then it will be translated to the 20.1.1.1, right? That is the private IP of our server. And which service I want to allow? I want to allow telnet port number 23, right? Okay. Now, do we need any type of source netting here?
No.
Yes, we don't require because the traffic will come from outside and it will go to the DMZ zone, right? so we don't require any. So guys, our policy is ready, our NAT rule is also ready. So let's try this. Okay, I'll go to the machine that is placed in an internet. Okay, this is my internet machine. We will see whether we are getting hits on our firewall or not, and also in our NAT rule, right? First of all, let me show you the IP address. It must have the IP address from the external network, right? So guys, see, it is having an IP address of 192.168.1.85. Okay, 192.168.1.series is our public network in our lab environment, right? So that's fine. Means it this user is on internet, right? Now let's hit the public IP. This was the public IP, right? That we have created rule for. Now let's check. See guys, so we are getting the access of our internal host with the public IP, that is 192.168.1.100. Okay, so let me show you the hit counts and the traffic logs as well. See, here we are getting one hit, and if you will see the traffic policy, firewall policy, here also we are getting hits, right? And let's check the session here. Okay, it's not showing anything. Then we can check the session from here. FortiView sessions. Or we can also check from the CLI get system session list. This is the traffic, right? See guys, user is coming from 192.168.1.85 and he is hitting the destination 192.168.1.100 and destination port is 23. So it is now doing the destination NAT. In destination NAT section, you can see the translated IP is 20.1.1.1. That is our telnet server IP, right? Means it is perfectly working, right?
This here,
is-
hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we need only, if we have any servers to access from outside, we need to configure destination NAT. Otherwise not required.
Otherwise not required. Yeah, if you want to like expose your server publicly, in such scenario you need a destination NAT.
Okay, in normal cases, we only use source NAT or some, or.
Yeah, normally you will, normally whenever your traffic will move from LAN to WAN or DMZ to WAN, in that scenario, source net will be required. So these are all the industry used cases. You will see these cases in industry. Okay, these are the industry's implemented cases already.
Yes.
This is how the websites or web servers are accessible to us over a public IP. Okay, although they are having the private IPs inside their network, right? Now
So
let's
if
create
we
one
only
more. Yeah,
only
tell me.
expose, yeah, if we only expose our server skills, we use destination NAT, otherwise not required.
Yeah, if you want them to accessible from outside of your network, then you can use this net.
But
Okay. Now I'll do one more thing. I will configure this as a web server. Okay. Then I'll show you.
Rohit, is it possible to show instead of interface, can you please configure the zone and assign the interface in the zone? And can you write the security policy instead of zone than other than interface? Can you please show that how it's working in FortiGate?
With the zone, you are saying.
For example, we have the interfaces, we have you name the interfaces as WAN, LAN, and DMZ, right? So
Right.
what I require is I want to create three zones, like DMZ, at least LAN and WAN zones. Then you have to assign the interfaces in that zone, and you just to perform the same configuration, the security policy as well as the NAT policy. I just to try to know how the configuration will be in these cases.
This will be exactly same. That actually, if you will touch the industry,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
will
correct.
see
I
from
come. Yeah.
industry perspective, na. So the Fortinet firewall is always configured in this manner. How we are configuring right now. Okay, the way you are talking about, that is the configuration we do in for Palo Alto firewall, right? That is also very similar. You just need to understand the flow. Suppose you are having this in your
Basically, Rama, this firewall is not a zone-based firewall. This is a
inside.
policy-based firewall.
All right. Okay.
So you won't have
So
a separate zones for the interfaces.
that means there is no zone
Zone.
related
Okay, this is
stuffs is there,
having
right?
your DMZ. So
Yes,
how your
yeah.
traffic policy will? This is not a zone based. Yeah, yeah. 8 zones, but it is not fully supported just like in Palo Alto. That is a
Yeah.
different concept.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. 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 Now got it. Okay. If it is not a zone-based firewall, then it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Thanks, Chandru.
yeah. It
Yeah. Thanks, Chandru.
define
Yeah.
this. Yeah. So we will move forward, and let me configure this server as a HTTPS server, right? Secure server, right? Interface gigabit Ethernet 0x0 IP address 2.1.1.2. Okay, 255 255 sorry. Sorry, 50 no shirt. Okay, exit IP route 000 and 10 dot sorry 20.1.1.100. Okay, now user name Rohit, privilege 15, password CCNA. Okay, exit, try it. Show IP interface brief. Yeah, ping 20.1.100. Yeah, it's pinging the firewall IP, right? And let's change the host name also. Configure terminal, host name, my web server. Okay, exit. Okay guys, let's create a rule for this also. Let's see how this is accessible, how this will be accessible from the outside network, right? So where is my firewall? Here it is. So how we will configure this? I will go to the virtual IPs. Okay, inside policy and object virtual IP, then come to the new virtual IP. Okay, and then I will make it as a web server. Okay, which interface traffic will come from? When? What will be the public IP? 192.168 1 dot. Suppose I'm taking 101 IP. Okay, what is my destination IP? Sorry, internal IP 20.1.1.2, right? Rest part we will leave it like this only. Now we need one security policy also, right? To allow the traffic from outside to DMZ zone, right? Web server access rule. Traffic will come from WAN port, will move to DMZ. Traffic source is unknown, so we will choose any. Okay, destination is my web server. Here I am defining that someone hit this public IP, then it will be translated to 20.1.1.2, right? Service, what service we want to allow? HTTPS, right? Now, what else we need to define here? By default, NAT is enabled, so I will disable the NAT because we are coming from outside. So our policy is ready. Let's try. Okay, so what is public IP? 101, right? Let's try this. HTTPS 192.168.1.101.
This mistake is 192.
Okay, 192. Good. So are we getting any traffic hits? Yes, we are getting hits. Let's see whether the web page is opening or not. Yeah, it's a little bit slow. Guys, you can see web page is loading. Okay. This is not opening properly. Okay, guys, so you can see that we are getting one HTTPS page, right? Something is opening here. So let's check the traffic, right? It is opening some other because it is mapped with some other thing also. So let's change the IP, then it will definitely open our router. You can see it is mapped with a VMware EXSI. That's why it is opening something else. Sometime it happens in lab. So let's change the IP. Let's try it again. Okay. Are we getting hits? Yes, we are getting hits. So we can also verify the things from the CLI. Get system session list. Okay. So it is not performing any translation because the session is not created yet. 102. With the 102, we are getting one web page, right? Let's see. It is again opening that UI. Yeah, now it's opening our web page. Rohit, and then password is CCNA. Okay, I believe I haven't configured the enable password for this web server. Enable password CCNA, right? Okay, my web server. This was the host name, right? See? And I'm hitting the public IP, right? So guys, I hope it's clear now. You guys are getting.
Yes,
But
yes.
here, this is clear, na? Destination is getting translated here. Let's check the logs. So guys, see. Okay, here you can see my source IP is 1.85, right? And I'm coming from WAN interface. Okay, and I'm hitting the IP 102, 192.168.102. That is public IP for my web server, right? And it is getting netted. Destination portion is getting netted on 20.1.1.2, right? Port is 443. We are not performing any port translation. Okay, this is clear, right?
Yeah.
Clear, na? This is how we can means do the destination NAT, and we can publish our servers over the internet. Okay, now in this example I have used two different public IPs for these two different servers. Now I have a second case. Suppose I am having only one public IP, okay, and I need to use these two public means I need to host these two servers as public. So how I will do that?
Using ports, two different ports.
Translation.
Can you elaborate like how two different ports? What rule we will create? Yes, you are right. Let's
Port
do it.
forwarding.
Port forwarding. Yes, exactly. We can use port forwarding, right? So first of all, we will use this public IP, right? So I will keep this and I will delete this. See guys, here one more thing, let me tell you. Here it is not giving us option to delete the object. Why it is? Because it is called with our security policy, right? If you will come here now, it is showing reference 1. So for removing this object, you need to go to the reference and then you need to remove the reference object first. Then only
Wait,
you
wait,
will be able to remove
Is
that.
there any way we can disable the rule?
Yes, we can also disable it. So let's modify this, na? Instead of creating new. Okay, I want to use the same public IP, right? But the port will be different this time. 100. Okay.
How do you?
Conflict with other. So we will perform the translation in port. This is 443, right? And here, see, it is not taking anything. It is giving an error, conflict with an external IP of another web. Okay. So how we can do this? Let's see. Actually, here we have considered all the services, right? Here we need to define 2323. Okay. Specific port, right? Now let's try this. Four four three, and then 443, right? So my public IP is 192.168.1.100. If I will hit 23, then it will be redirected to 20.1.1.1. That is my telnet server. If I will hit 443, then it will be redirected to 20.1.1.2. That is my web server, right? So I need to give the policy as well. One policy is already there for telnet server. So we will allow HTTPS server also here. Okay. So I just add this in my destination, right? And I will add the port also. That is the reason I deleted because I want to call it with the same policy. Okay, most of the things are matching. That's why we are calling it with the same policy. Okay, here. And one more service is required. That is HTTPS. Right? Rest.
Wait a sec. Why do you need two destinations? Only one destination is enough, right?
One destination is enough, but here my task is I want, here is my diagram. See, I want this public IP, whenever traffic will come to this public IP, it should be redirected to my telnet server as well. It should be redirected to my web server. So I have
Yeah,
given
but
a
the
condition.
destination IP can be only one, right? We got two ports configured on the services.
Destination IP can be one, but here my scenario is I have only one public IP, okay, and I want to expose these two servers with this public IP only. So
Yeah.
with this one public IP, how I can do this task? I can differentiate them with the help of the service, right? Because this is a telnet server, this is operating on a port number 23, and it is a web server and it is operating on a 443.
Yeah,
So
that I got it. That I got it.
Mhm.
But on the policy,
Yeah.
on the destination,
Yes.
why do you need like 1.100?
I need both of the server to be accessible from public network. Now, I am telling whenever traffic will hit to this public IP and hit this port, then it should be translated to
Right.
server 1, right? And whenever traffic will come from outside network and it will hit this public IP and it will hit TCP 443, then it should be redirected to my second server. That is my web server that I need to define.
Okay.
Either you can define in one policy or you can have a different policy as well. Okay, so I have used one policy. You can also create one another policy, then you can have a different rule. That is not an issue. I just created a one single policy. Okay,
No,
because
I
rest,
thought like the port address translation, you will do it under the NAT NAT rule.
Yeah, NAT only we have decided, na? Port forwarding. See, here NAT we are deciding, na? Port number 23 will be mapped to port number
Okay, so
53.
those two destinations we are calling in. Okay, got it.
Yeah, got it, na? Here I have one public IP and I want to expose two servers.
Right.
Okay, so I am distinguishing them with the service. Okay, differentiating with the service. Let's see from the
Okay.
test machine whether we are able to access it or not. Okay, let's go to the test machine. This time our public IP is common. Where it is? Okay, here we have the outside machine. Okay, so let's check. First of all, I'll do the telnet. Okay, so 192.168.
1.100.
Sorry, it's not taking inputs. 192.168 1.100. This is my public IP. It should be redirected to server number 20.1.1.1, right? See, Rohit CCNA. So server 1, you can see the host name. I can also verify you the IP address 20.1.1.1. It's fine. It's accessible. Let's check the second service.
Hello.
Okay, HTTPS 100. We
Hello.
should get the web page, right? See, I'm getting the web page. Rohit CCNA. See, my web server. Okay. So
Yeah,
now
Rohit, one doubt.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah, here we have just differentiating by services, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but in case we have same web servers, we have two web servers.
Yeah.
How can we configure that?
Yeah, that part I also show you. Okay. So guys, you can see here we are getting, like, you can see the external IP. It is hitting 100 on 423 port. So we are getting 2111 over port 23, right? Second, this is the destination net is happening here. Okay. For this, let me try to initiate the session. Okay. See whether we are getting any session here or not. Okay, sessions are getting cleared, so we can verify on the logs. Okay. I hope these examples are clear to you, right, guys?
Yes, clear.
Clear, na?
Yes.
You can make the rules. You understood the flow, right? Right?
Yes.
This is the previous traffic, okay? 100, C, 100 and 443, okay? When traffic is hitting 443, no? Traffic is coming from 1.85 and it is hitting 1.100 and traffic is hitting destination port 443. So translation is happening to 20.1.1.2, right? This was the rule we have created. So guys, clear na? This is the way we can do the destination net in Fortinet firewall. Okay, now your query, you are saying we have a common service, right? We have a common service like telnet is enabled here and telnet is also enabled here. Okay, let me enable the telnet. What happened? Okay, let me reload. It's not working. Okay, let me give you an example. Suppose, okay, now we have this is running on 23, right? And we have this server also running on 23, right? And we want these two servers to be accessible from outside network with a one single IP. So how we can do this? We can do a port forwarding, in this case port translation that we called. Okay, how the port translation will happen? We will create a rule in firewall 192.168. This is the public, suppose this is the public IP. Okay, 192.168.1.100. so I will tell my firewall, if traffic will hit 2324 port, okay, then it should be redirected to this server. And I will tell my firewall, if traffic will hit this public IP on a port number 2325, then this will be routed to this server. Okay, this is how we can achieve our this task.
No, here
Okay.
actually the port number is 443, right?
Yeah, port number is 443. So we are taking a case when same services will be operating on a two servers, right? You are saying na, here we are having 443. That is not an issue. We will perform the port translation as well in this case, right? I will map this server 443 port, okay, 443
Yeah,
port
both
on
servers have 443.
yeah, 4443. See. Let me take a paint now. Then I'll help you.
But here 443 is a secure port, right?
Yeah.
But if we change it to 443 means
That is not an issue now. We at the end it is operating on a 443, right? At the end it is working on a 443. For outside world, we are just defining it. We are just mapping it, right?
Got it. Yeah.
That doesn't mean we are changing the service or we are doing anything, right now.
Yeah, got it.
So here your service is running on 443, right? Here also we are running on 443, right? And here I want to use one public IP, one single public IP. So I will tell my firewall, if any traffic will hit this IP, and port will be 4344, sorry, 4443, suppose 4443, then it should be redirected to this server. Means destination will be translated to 20.1.1 and this port will be translated to 443, right? Similarly, I will define one rule here, the 444 port. If someone will hit this public IP on this port, then IP will be translated to 20.1.1.2 and this port will be translated to 443. Got it? Guys, getting my point?
Yeah, this is configured the same in the port forwarding rule, right? There's a two ports are showing that same thing. You just replace the port numbers, right? That
Right. Similarly, we will configure here now. See, we will come here and we will tell our firewall, if anyone will hit this server, okay, this public IP, it should be IP should be translated to this, and here it is saying external port. I will define here my external port will be 443.
Yeah,
443. Then the port mapped port will be 443, right? Makes sense? Similarly, here I will define one rule. If someone will hit this public IP, IP should be redirected to this, IP, that is my another server, and port will be, if external port will be 4444, then it will be translated to 4433. Right? This is how I will create the rule, and I will call it with the security policy. Right? It is already configured. Okay, but we don't have any HTTP service enabled on the second server, right? So this is not working right now, else I will definitely show you. And we are also done for today. So we will see it tomorrow, that how this NAT is working or not. Okay.
Okay.
This is, I think this is enough for today. This is also not opening. I will check, and we will see this translation tomorrow, and we will cover the rest of the part. Okay. We are left with a hairpin NAT, and then our NAT concept is almost done, is complete. Okay. Okay, guys. This.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One more thing, Rohit.
Yeah, tell me.
While doing the lab, like that PC, when we access it, is there any specific settings I need to do to make it like to come with a full screen?
For taking it on a full screen, you need to open in like this. Okay. And if you want to change the resolution, then you can change the resolution and increase it. Okay.
Right over there. Okay.
This is how you can make the changes. See, it has become wider now.
Right. Okay. Got it, man. Got it.
Yeah, this is the way. Okay. So tomorrow we will see this translation also. Okay. Meantime, you can do the practice. I hope today's class is clear to everyone, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if you have any doubt, then please practice it, and let's discuss tomorrow. Okay. The hairpin net and. Okay. Bye. Okay, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.